Hello everybody, Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas. I'm going to do a little video today talking about an unsolved murder from Odessa that I believe could be solved, that was said to be connected to the Hailey Dunn murder, the famous missing murdered child from Colorado City. If you remember, a month ago they released Sean Atkins. They had him charged with her murder. I sent this video right here. I'm going to show you this one right here called Dope Deal Went Horribly Wrong. I posted it on my YouTube and tweeted it to the FBI, and the next day, the very next day, the FBI advised that they release Sean and drop the charges. And the bottom line is, I don't think that, Sean wasn't there, and so it was other people that were involved in his murder. They had the wrong guy. That's all there was to it. I think it was on purpose myself. I think it was a cover-up, but whatever. Anyways, let's go back. Here's Cody Wayne Mercer. We're going to talk about, the evidence that I've found that I don't think's ever been investigated, and if it has, it's been intentionally covered up. So, it unsolved Odessa murder, Cody Mercer, on November 1st, 2011. 31-year-old Cody Mercer from Odessa, Texas, was murdered. His body was found by a passing motorist on Farm to Market Road 554 in Ector County. This is another unsolved murder in the area, with several people claiming to know what happened to him. Brandi Dunn told me on Facebook that Cody's murder was filmed and that the police have the recordings. She also told me the same thing happened with the murder of Hailey Dunn, and it's assumed that he was killed by the same gang. That Cody's murder is connected to the Hailey Dunn murder. Okay, but Brandi wasn't the only person that said that. That's what's so amazing here. Okay, Lea Hadley confirmed what Brandi said and described the video as disgusting. Okay, I'm going to show you a print screen on that too. And Allison Frazier told me that she had also seen the video and described to me the moment that Cody had died. And there's also a phone call that Allison is on where she's telling a Hailey Dunn blogger that Hailey was buried in the backyard of Jackie Thompson's. Okay. So drug rehab counselor Christy Ott sent me a copy of an email that she'd sent her supervisors at Turning Point in Odessa, informing them that a guy named Brett Bushman had told her that he had been involved with 3 homicides, including the murder of Hailey Dunn. Okay, now that's not in the letter she sent to her supervisors, but I have other print screens where she told me that Brett Bushman had told her. She didn't specifically mention Cody, but I suspected one of these 3 murders, okay? Because I believe there's a connection between the Hailey Dunn murder and the murder of Cody Mercer. Okay, I was told that he was killed because they thought he was going to snitch about the murder of Hailey Dunn. And I believe the reason this murder has gone unsolved is because the police have been covering up that Hailey was also killed in Odessa by the same gang members. Remember, they have a guy arrested for 2 years and all of a sudden they release him, And it was ridiculous because, like I said, as far as I can tell from the many people I've documented, he wasn't even there. She was killed in Odessa, not Scurry County. Possibly this cover-up is because multiple people have said that Hailey was at the home of a former Odessa police officer, Jackie Thompson. And that may explain why the police are trying to cover up the Hailey Dunn murder, the Cody Mercer murder, because one of their men in blue was connected to the Hailey Dunn murder. And that's not what Buddy said. I'm going to show you, some of the evidence I was collected. Let's start with this one. Brandi Dunn tells me on Facebook message, and you can subpoena Facebook and go, did Brandi say this? Yes, Brandi did say this. And she said there's a video of it and cops have it. And I said, there's a video of what? Of Hailey's murder? And Brandi says, yes, it was with the video of Cody Mercer's murder. The cops have both. Okay, and so that's what I was telling you, that here's what one person said. Okay, here's the obituary. We already looked at that. Now here's another print screen, a whole different person, Lea Hadley, right here. Okay, and I'm talking on Facebook, and I said it sounds like you're talking about Cody Mercer, and this woman named Brandi said that the same people who murdered Hailey also killed him. She also said there was was a video of it, and the cops had it. And I put the print screen, so it wasn't, you know, buddy said, she said, you know. And Jessica says, yes, that's correct. They videotaped the whole thing. It's disgusting, and it's absolutely true. That's 2 people, okay? And she had watched the video. 2 people said that it was filmed, and the cops took the videos, okay? Here was a news story just talking about when they found found Cody. 32-year-old deceased Odessa man was found by a passing motorist Tuesday around 10 a.m. on FM 554. Cody Mercer was pronounced dead. Okay, and then they went later, did the did the autopsy, and it was death by I think methamphetamine. Okay. Okay, and so this is the letter that drug counselor Christy Otts Smith sent me, and it was a picture of an email she sent to Julie Elliott and Janie Tippett and Ramona Thomas, and that was with Turning Point drug rehab deal, and she was quitting. She was so mad. Christy Smith resignation letter, and in that letter she says, since he did have a hand and stuff in a child's body inside a safe. And keep in mind, she's writing this to her supervisor. And she says, I've never stated that I'm afraid of BB. BB is Brett Bushman. Interestingly, one of the wealthiest families in Odessa is the Bushman's family. They own CBS 7, they own the mall, they own all kinds of stuff. But, you know, it's never been determined if Brett Bushman is related to them Bushmen. But I wondered if that wouldn't explain this cover-up, right? Help explain, okay? And then he goes on his confession of the involvement in 3 separate homicides. That's the reason I showed you that, considering his organizational affiliation. That means a gang member, okay? And you know, and that's where other people have said that Hailey was killed by gang members in Odessa, okay? At 3 separate homicides, I've suspected Cody Mercer was one of them. Rayetta Trigg, she wrote, and she said it's a true story. One more person and that knows the truth. And I wrote back, be quiet, my puppies are playing. It's scary when the police are involved in covering up murders, and maybe this was done to cover up one of their own men in blue, former OPD officer Jackie Thompson. So let's look what the Odessa American wrote about Jackie Thompson. The OAOA.com posted former Odessa cop sentenced to 17 and a half years. A former Odessa law enforcement officer was sentenced to 17 and a half years after pleading guilty to possession of 500 pounds of methamphetamine with intent to deliver. Okay, so y'all can look that up if you wanted. You know, that's what they wrote. Okay, Allison Frazier, she's the one on a phone call, says, and he did what, 7 years of that? Of 17 and a half years. They let him out early. He got this sweet deal, you know, and maybe because he was a former cop, you know. I think the excuse for getting out early was COVID, but that wasn't given to the other convicts, you know. They didn't let everybody out because of COVID, so I got to say, just picked and choose, you know, who they let out. And then I went ahead and wrote, and I said, Allison Frazier said on this phone call that Hailey had been buried at the home of former OPD officer Jackie Thompson. That's why we're trying to figure out, why is OPD covering up these murders? Cody Mercer, Hailey Dunn, you know? And maybe it's because there's a connection to one of their own, OPD officer Jackie Thompson. Former OPD officer, remember, he confessed to dealing all that meth, you know? Maybe the reason that Cody Mercer has never been solved is because of his connection to OPD. Now, remember what I told you, that Cody died by meth, okay? And then one more says here, let me go ahead and we'll just listen to this little video here. I think I got it right here already. It's called Another Tale of Why, Where, Mostly Who. And this is Allison Frazier talking to a Hailey Dunn blogger, okay? I just got here, skipped ahead. It's not even a long video. 15 minutes. I call this the tell-all. This is what happened to Hailey Dunn, folks, right here. You know, I 100% believe this. But here, we're just going to listen to this part.
The body was also at Jackie Thompson's backyard.
Who's Jackie Thompson?
Jackie Thompson was a police officer in Odessa, Texas. He got arrested 2 years back on drug charges. He was a police officer.
You knew about Hailey?
Yeah, he knew about Hailey. Hailey was in his backyard.
Yeah, he knew about Hailey. Hailey was in his backyard. Okay, now let me go back. she wasn't the only person that said former Odessa police officer, excuse me, was Hailey Dunn was at Jackie Thompson's house. I'm going to show you another one. Tisha Brumley told me that her niece was running around with AB gang, that's Aryan Brotherhood members, and she saw Hailey Dunn at 2 homes in Odessa, with one of them being former OPD officer Jackie Thompson. Okay, yeah, he knew. It was in her backyard. Remember, now we got 2 people saying that, and this one was saying that she saw and talked to Hailey at Jackie Thompson's house, according to Tisha, and that was her niece, you know. And so that I'm going to shorten this up, but you know, I think I'm just going to jump right here. I said, but my niece a few years back ran with the Aryan Nation, AB, Aryan Brotherhood. She's seen Hailey Dunn 2 times. One was at Jackie Thompson's, one at a connection. She called me, asked what she should do. I told her to give me the information. I'll call the cops. She was scared. Took her a few days to tell me. When she did, 30 minutes after she told me, she called me crying, saying she went back to the connection's house and Hailey was dead in Odessa, and that was the connection's house. I actually believe that was Raina Brott, who's now dead. She thinks that Raina's told me that she believed that Hailey was killed at her house, and then she was afraid for her life. And then I sent messages to the chief of police here in Midland, and 6 months later she's dead. They hid her out in a septic tank for 2 days, then dumped her in Big Springs. And remember, that's where Scurry County is, okay? So I just want to say, you know, and that's all speculation. We're just trying, why is Odessa PD covering up the murder of Cody Mercer, right? He's got family. It's an unsolved murder. Multiple people said that it was filmed and the cops have it. Why isn't that investigated? Maybe because the cops have the film. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas.